welcome back to my channel. For today's video, as you can tell by the title of the video, is my April wrap-up. And I have to backtrack a little bit to explain why I read 17 books this month. So in the months of January to March, I got so behind on my reading goal. My reading goal this year is 100 books again. I tried to hit 120 last year and I only made it to like 86 books. So I'm going back to 100 and we're just going to see how that goes. And I needed to catch up with my reading goal because I was like 9 to 10 books behind on my reading goal. So a lot of these books are like quick, easy reads for like, that take me only like an hour to read them. And they're kind of like kid books, but they helped me catch up on my reading goal. So we are thankful for them. And I'm just gonna go through the book. I have a good bit of physical copy and a good bit of ebooks. So my first book that I read was this Taylor Swift book that I found on Kindle Unlimited. I gave it 2 stars, and the reasoning why is because some of the information in this book was not the correct thing. Like, it was trying to say that Taylor had a 13 tattoo, like the number 13 tattooed on her hand, and that's not actually true. It's just that she drew the 13 on her hand. And then they were talking about some deleted scene. Unless somebody knows what this deleted scene is, because I've never even seen it before, and I even tried to Google it to see if it was a thing, and it's obviously not. But they were trying to say that there was a deleted scene in the Hannah Montana movie where Taylor runs into Miley or Hannah and thinks that she's like a janitor or something, or like a random, I don't know what, they have like an interaction together in a deleted scene from the movie. But like the only time that we ever see them in the actual movie is Taylor performing at the like barn get together. So I don't think that that's obviously true. And there were some other things that were just like, didn't make sense, or I don't know. It just was not my favorite Taylor Swift informational type book. So I gave it 2 stars. And then my next book that I read was, so here comes the kid books. So my next book that I read was, I read a bunch of Mary-Kate and Ashley books because I have collected a bunch of these in the last year, and because I had a couple of them as a kid, which I still do have them in here, and I've read them years ago, so I reread them this year because I hadn't read them in years. But I have been collecting these at my local library during their dollar book sales, and because I'm a huge fan of Mary-Kate and Ashley, like Holiday in the Sun shaped me for who I am today. Like, that movie is literally my entire personality. But anyways, this book I gave 3 stars, and it was a really cute little fun mystery book. It's The Case of the Green Ghost. And then I read this one, which also gave 3 stars. I think I gave them all pretty much 3 stars. So this one is the Big Scare Mountain Mystery. And then this one was Slam Dunk Mystery. And I also read the Rockstar Secret, and I gave that one 3 stars as well. And then I read The Disappearing Princess, which is one of the ones that I had as a kid. Gave that 3. I think I pretty much gave them all 3 stars, so I'll just run through them really quickly. But The Summer Camp Caper, and I got Switching Goals, which is a movie of theirs, which I didn't know they turned it into a book as well. And I've actually never fully watched this movie before, but now reading the book, I really want to watch the movie, and I think it's available on Crave now, on that on the movie like streaming service Crave. It used to be on Hulu, and now it's not anymore. But that one, and then I have a bunch of these like Full House books, so they're characters like Michelle and all of them. And this one was Michelle, If I Were President, and this one I gave 3 stars as well. It was really, really cute, and they definitely remind you. It's like, if instead of watching an episode of Full House, it's like if you were reading an episode of Full House. and it's really well written. I really liked it a lot. And then I also have this little book that I had as a kid that's literally the easiest like little comic book type thing, and it's based off of the Mary-Kate and Ashley show In Action, and it's Operation Evaporation, and I gave this one 2 stars just because it was like, it's just a filler book, honestly. And then I also have been trying to collect the Magic Treehouse books. So I read Midnight on the Moon and also Vacation Under the Volcano, and both of these books I gave the Moon one 2 stars and this one 3 stars. And then I also read this Full House book, which was Full House Sisters, Let's Put on a Show, and I gave this one also 3 stars, but the storyline in this one was actually really, really good. I was struggling to decide if I wanted to give it 4 stars, and I ended up, like, I just loved the, like, plot of the whole book, like, just how it was, like, showing, like, how they could include everyone and not like leave anybody behind, and it was just very, very just a very wholesome book. And then the rest of them that I read this month are all Kindle Unlimited books. Well, the reappearance, so I got the reappearance of Rachel Price from Libby, and I absolutely fell in love with that book. It gave it 5 stars. It kept me on my toes, although, and I agree with Destiny talking about this in her video, but every single time, the only thing that annoyed me about it, but even though I did give it 5 stars, was the fact that like anytime they were like suspicious of someone, they would be like, ooh, we think this person is it, and they'd go into like wanting to investigate them, and then they'd move on to somebody else, and then they'd like trickle their way into investigating a little bit, be like, oh, I think they're suspicious because of this, but then they wouldn't actually like follow through with what like they were suspicious of, and they move on to another person, and I'm like, just complete the task so you know to check them off your list if they're a suspect or not. Like, it just was so annoying. And but then like the last 3 hours of the book is like the best part of the whole book. Like, from then on, I could not put the book down. It was my favorite part of the whole book pretty much, and it just like was absolutely wild. I was not expecting any of it. It was so crazy. And then I also read, so I just had the Catathon Readathon Part 2 happen a couple weekends ago, and I read the books Dweety, which is like a little ghost cat graphic novel book, and I gave that one 2 stars. It was not my favorite. It was just, and it went by really, really quickly, which, I mean, it is a graphic novel, but it was only 60 pages. And then I also read, the storyline was just like bland. I don't know, I just didn't like it. And then I read Tall Tales Secret Book Club, and this book was cute. It was a very much a cozy mystery series. It is a series. I don't know if I'm going to pick the series up after this first book, but it was a cute little like read with a cat in it that went along with the theme of the readathon, and I gave that one 3 stars. And then my last book, which you will have seen what I gave it in my last video, and you can see all my thoughts on this book specifically because I just did my reading vlog on it, but it's The Fine Print. It's the Dreamland series first book, Dreamland Billionaire series from Lauren Asher, and I gave that 5 stars, and you can see why in my last video that I posted. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it because it is very informative of this specific book. And and so those are all 17 of the books that I read this month, and I do have one more book that I could actually finish if I wanted to, but I think I'm just gonna wait until like my Goodreads says that I'm like a book behind or something and finish it, because I only have like an hour and a half left of reading it, and I'm just not in the mood to read it today. I thought I was gonna finish it before this video was filmed, but it's called The Key House. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm just gonna finish that one and that be part of my May reads, I guess. So anyways, that is pretty much my April wrap up, and now you're all caught up on all the books that I've read. And I'm trying to think of what else. And so you'll just see my books throughout the rest of the year as I read them. So make sure to follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Goodreads. I have it linked down below now. And subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in my week in my life vlog on Sunday. Bye!